You've worked hard to earn and save. Now it's time to make your money work hard for you. This is Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida of A Better Way Financial.
One of the things we talk about all the time, and we get a little weedy sometimes, they're talking about all the taxes, because, geez, I mean, we don't even try to. It's tax planning, and the tax code itself is weedy and complicated and hard for us to figure out, to say the very least. How many pages are in the tax code right now? It's over 1,000.
Like 1,000 and change.
I think it's like 2,000.
It's so many.
It's exhausting is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Exciting to read, though.
Yeah, right. Exciting to read if you're trying to find something to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things in that code within all of those pages that actually work to our advantage. The problem is for us, for the everyday man and person here in the Lehigh Valley, trying to figure out what those things are, what those rules that we can take advantage of are. So let's talk about what you do and the benefits of working with a tax planner, specifically for retirement planning, because we're not talking about the April 15th deadline. You guys are not CPAs. It's a different approach. So what are the benefits of this? Explain what it is that you do and how it works.
You know, it's so important to go to somebody who really knows what they're talking about, because everyone's situation is different. You know, everybody has different nuances. Their kids are in different positions. They're in different positions. The folks themselves may have pensions. They may not. They may have 401ks. They may not understand how to lower their taxes, which very, very few people do. All of this stuff, it's so important that you sit down with a financial professional. They do tax planning. They do financial planning. They do retirement planning. All of these things to help get you on the road to success, so that you know what you can retire on, what you can live on, so that you can go through retirement with so much less stress, because you don't have the financial worries. You know what your income can be, you know what you can afford to spend, and you can really, really enjoy it.
And you want somebody who has a long-term approach. You don't want just your accountant who might be only looking at what can I do for this year? What does it look like for this year, and how do I save money in taxes? Because when you take a step back and you look at over the next 10, 20, 30 years, there are strategies that now make sense that if you're just looking at how do I save money in taxes this year, you'd say, well, that doesn't make sense because I'm going to pay more in taxes this year. And so when you take a long-term approach with somebody who really understands your financial situation and your tax situation, you can end up significantly reducing your tax liability over the course of your lifetime. And we develop a tax plan that's tailor-made to you. We want to see, what is your specific situation? How do we make this work as well as we can so that you're paying the least amount in taxes necessary to be able to get the income that you need in your retirement years? And so this is what we do. You want somebody who's done this before, who's helped hundreds of retirees navigate through their retirement, making sure that they're having a smooth financial transition to and through their retirement, also having that tax plan developed for them, showing them what they can do to make sure that they're saving money in taxes. It's something that requires having cutting-edge financial planning software that can put you in a position where you're able to look through and say, okay, well, here's what it looks like over the next 20 to 30 years. If you don't have the software, you can't really develop that. And so that's something that you want to make sure that you have a plan in place, and it's looking at, well, what does it look like over the next 20 to 30 years, and how can we make sure that we're paying the least amount in taxes over our retirement years? And so if your advisor says on the bottom of their statements that they do not do tax planning and that they want you to consult your tax professional, you are missing out, because you could be losing 20 to 30% per year in taxes over the course of your retirement years, and that is not the way that you want to have your portfolio set up.
Right.
If your advisor was losing you 20 to 30% from your investment every year, you'd fire them. So this is something that you want to make sure they're not losing that in taxes because they're turning a blind eye to it. And so this is something that we want to make sure you are working with somebody who focuses on taxes, who focuses on reducing your tax liability as much as you can. And so we're going to be able to develop complimentary for you a retirement tax plan where we're going to be able to show you the strategies that you can use to minimize that tax bill throughout your retirement years. So if you're 55 and older and you save $500,000 or more for your retirement, give us a call and we're going to be able to put together a complimentary retirement tax plan for you. The number is 610-440-3722. Again, that's 610-440-3722. 3722 and ask for your retirement tax plan, which we are going to be offering right now for the next 5 callers. The number is 610-440-3722.
We had a couple that had come in. They're 83 years old, the husband, 73 years old, the wife.
Okay.
And they were getting crushed with RMDs and taxes. Could we have helped them even more when they were younger? Yes. But that doesn't mean we still can't help them now.
Got it.
And in a very, very significant way. This couple had $6 million and they needed to live on $200,000 a year. And we were able to do some pretty nice things for them.
Yeah, and so what we did is we looked at, well, here's what we need to do. So we looked at what we can do to make sure that we're having them in a position where they don't have to take out more than they need. Because right now they're getting crushed with those required minimum distributions. They're forced to take out more money than they're actually spending. In fact, they were having to take out over $100,000 per year and pay the taxes on that over $100,000 per year that they were having to take out from that IRA. And she was in a situation where she had over $1 million of highly appreciated stock. So it was a very low cost basis or very low amount that she purchased for it, but now it's grown significantly over the past several decades. We looked into, all right, well, what are the other situations that we have? So she had a lot of non-qualified assets. He had a lot of IRA assets. He was the older one. He was 83. She was 73. And so we looked at, okay, well, what are the options that we have here? Right now, you're getting hit very hard with those required minimum distributions because they're going off that older age, that age 83.
Got it. Yeah.
And instead of going off of her age, 73, which is 10 years younger, it's a lot less that she would have to take out of IRAs, which she didn't really have any IRAs. All the IRAs were mostly in his name.
Okay.
And so one of the things that we can do is something called a qualified domestic relations order, a quadro, to transfer his IRA assets to his spouse and use the age, in essence, bringing it from age 83 for tax purposes.
That's interesting. I've never heard that
age
that's an option.
73.
Yeah.
And most people think, oh, well, quadros, those are just for divorces, and you can't have that in a married couple. But you actually can. It's something that is commonly used for divorce, but it can also be used in circumstances like this to be able to save money in taxes.
Interesting.
And so instead of having it calculated based off of an 83-year-old's age for the tax planning purposes for the RMDs, we now have it at age 73.
Got it.
Tremendous difference.
And so that's a significant reduction in taxes for them there. Yeah. So we also looked at, well, you have an unlimited marital gift tax exclusion. So you have the highly appreciated non-qualified stock that's in her name, and she's 73. So we were assuming in their case, he was had a planning age of 90. She had a planning age of 95. So there was a longer time horizon for her. So we said, well, what if we gifted those highly appreciated stock to your husband? So you gift the non-qualified accounts to him, and if he passes away first, then you'll get a step up in basis sooner. So instead of having the basis, and I'm making the number up here, if it was $20,000 that she bought the stock for, now it's worth $1.5 million. Well, if you were to sell that, they would have to realize the whole growth of that difference. Whereas once the owner of it passes away, it gets a full step up to that $1.5 million.
Tremendous difference.
And so there's no more taxes at that point from an income level there. So that's something we looked into. All right, well, that's going to save them a lot of money in taxes. And a lot of people think, well, at age 83 and 73, you definitely shouldn't do Roth conversions. But because of the tax savings that we were able to have from these other strategies, it actually made sense to do some of these Roth conversions over the next 4 years. And we were projected to save them with these strategies over $365,000 in taxes over the course of their retirement years. And having these plans in place and really looking and dissecting your positions and seeing what can we do to save you money in taxes, it can go a really long way in your retirement years. And so if you haven't had your advisor looking into this, seeing, well, what strategies can we use? What can we do to save money in taxes? This is something that you need to have. And so we're going to be able to put this together complimentary for you, a complimentary retirement tax plan, showing you the strategies that you can use. You're not too old to do this. Let's look into your specific situation and see what we can do to make sure we're paying the least amount in taxes over our retirement years. And so if you want to have that done for you complimentary, give us a call because we are offering this right now for the next 5 callers at 610-440-3722. If you're 55 and older and you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, give us a call right now for your complimentary retirement tax plan. That number is 610-440-3722, or find us online at abetterway.com. betterwayfinancial.com.
Thanks for listening to Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com.
By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.